Alright everyone, we are back here with round number 2 of Drakehaven. Pretty excited about this. This is a pretty decent keep. We're on the play as well, so this game should go relatively smoothly, in as smooth of a sense as these games can go. You could have made a case to Port Town there, but I think getting this on the battlefield is slightly more important. But you could have made a case that Port Town was more useful there, as you could censor on turn 2, but you could also say that there's not a lot you want to censor on turn 2. So Aether Hub plus Islands makes me think that we're playing against maybe Marvel again, which wouldn't be my favorite. Because that's the situation, I just want to slam Drakehaven. Sure, there are some blue-red decks we could be playing against here, but how often are they just going to have Negate here? Yeah, they're going to have Censor. Alright. Well, there weren't a lot of great ways to play around that, because even if we waited till next turn, we still most likely wouldn't have got to play our Drakehaven. Opponent is now going to cycle Censor and miss another land drop. Alright, we're going to not miss a land drop and pass the turn back. So our opponent hits their third land drop. I think Censor could still be good for us. I think Forsake the Worldly probably can get cycled though, although cycling Forsake the Worldly definitely gives away what we're playing. So I'm going to play a Choked Estuary Showing Island. I mean, the real problem here is that we have no way to really take advantage of their mana troubles. I mean, they could just draw out of it here fairly easily. Alright, cycling another Censor. Alright, I'm going to cycle one of these cast outs, because I need something to do. Fetid Pools? Alright, I will cycle the Fetid Pools. You got it. So sometimes this deck just chains cycle cards together just for the purpose of basically cycling. Yeah, I mean, I'm not finding a Drakehaven, which I would enjoy with all these cycle cards, right? I've cycled 3 cards this game. I would have enjoyed 3 Drakes attacking my opponent. I have not found anything else, basically. So we're playing against red-blue. The red-blue deck is definitely an interesting one. I'm not sure how good this matchup is, to be honest. I don't have a lot of practice in it. Alright, we're going to cycle another Irrigated Farm, and we're going to try to find something good here. I'm just going to cycle this Fetid Pools as well. I mean, we have to find something good at some point, right? An Essence Scatter? Yeah, I mean, we have just drawn, the terrible part of our deck, but that's what happens sometimes. Alright, I'm going to cycle a Censor here, just because we already have one, and we have an Essence Scatter, and we need things like Gear Hulk. The problem is that they're for sure going to have things like Harness Lightning, so we're going to really have to take advantage of when we play this. I imagine they're just going to discard. He discarded Magma Spray. Alright, well, we have the advantage, but I kind of want to hold on to the advantage. So I'm just going to pass the turn one more time. If it passes back to us, I'll cycle a Censor or something, but I doubt that's happening. Glimmer of Genius. Yeah, I'm just going to censor that. I mean, there's no reason to let them get an advantage. They're already choked up on mana. There's no reason to let them gain more of an edge here. Alright, in these matchups, there aren't a lot of things to cast out, but I do want one. Now, the trick is that it's a lot of their kill spells against a lot of our kill spells, and so it ends up just kind of being whoever has the most stuff to do. Whoever has the most relevant spells in their hand, because we're both going to have a ton of irrelevant spells in our hand. Now, luckily, a lot of our irrelevant spells, like Renewed Fates and stuff, we can theoretically cycle. This is also a matchup in which the Shambling Vents actually do some work. I almost said Steam Vents. But the Shambling Vents certainly get work done in these matchups. Alright. So we're almost at a point of parity here in which our opponent has played just as many things as we have played. and has just as many cards in hand as we have. So again, they got stuck on lands for a little bit, but we found no way to punish them. Unfortunate, but we were able to set up ourselves. Fortunate. So there are those things happening. We can just hieroglyphic illumination at the end of their turn. Or we could pull from tomorrow. Like how often do they just have a negate in the main deck? Not incredibly often. Probably. But we should play around Censor here. Yeah, alright, let's play around Censor. But let's just pull for 4, I guess. No, I don't want to pull for 5. All just illuminations. They have negate in the main deck? That is unreal. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not into it. That is just unreal. Alright, well, we have disallow in the main deck, I guess. How do you have negate in the main deck? Whatever. You know what? Good for you, my friend. You got us. I applaud you. Good for you. I'll just draw a card. I kind of need to get into a counter of war of some sort here. The question is, are they going to Gear Hulk? Because whoever Gear Hulks first is going to lose, basically. Is this a pull from tomorrow? Or is this a Gear Hulk? Glimmer of Genius. I'm actually going to disallow that. I don't mind getting my disallow into the graveyard. Mostly because I have a Torrential Gear Hulk to get it back. If they have another negate, like, that's just whatever. Yeah, there's nothing I can do there. I could pull from tomorrow here. Nah, that's just giving them free reign on their turn. And I at least want to be able to counter a Gear Hulk if that's the way this goes. Or a Glory Bringer. I want to be able to counter a Glory Bringer as well. We're also not in terrible shape. Like, yeah, they're going to have 7 cards in hand or whatever, but, you know, we're going to have 6, and we have some relevant cards like Torrential Gear Hulk now. They probably also have relevant cards like Torrential Gear Hulk. Yeah, that card is something that is extremely good in this matchup, so I'm going to attempt to counter that. And if my counter gets countered, then I'm going to Blessed Alliance it when it attacks, so... Ha! Alright, we got there. Alright, let's draw something relevant. Censor's not incredibly relevant. Let's cycle Censor to draw something more relevant. The reason we're cycling on our main phase here with Censor is because lands are super good in this matchup. Any control matchup, you want lands and cards, so if we were to draw a land, it'd kind of be a shame if it wasn't on the battlefield. We also have a lot of lands like Choked Estuaries, Port Towns, Concealed Courtyards that are coming into play tapped at this point in the game. As soon as we get to the point where we can double Gear Hulk, that's when we're winning, basically. I mean, we got a Gear Hulk and just hope they don't have a counter for a Gear Hulk, but I'm sure they do. I'm sure they set it up so that they have a counter. Yep, they did. We're supposed to do not disallow their Glimmer of Genius? Maybe we're not, who knows. Alright, now they're going to get a full Glimmer of Genius out of it, which is fine. We still have I mean, we're not dead by any means. Like, yes, they're going to have 7 cards in their hand when they untap. We're going to Blessed Alliance as Gear Hulk. We're still going to have 4 cards in hand. We're going to draw up to 5. Everything's going to be okay. One of the cards they draw is going to be a land. This Kefnet in the main deck is super crazy. I mean, I'm a fan. It's just super crazy. disallowed. Oh, I mean, okay, you got it. You successfully disallowed my blessed alliance. Fever vision. Ugh. Fatal push. That's also not good. Alright, I want to draw my card. I don't mind taking the 2. But I am going to have to anguish on making that before they draw. Because I'm glad that we each got 1 card out of the deal. I mean, we basically... This is a 2 for 2 right now as it stands. If they go for the counter, I'm going to Gearhulk counter back. I mean, at some point they have to not have counters and just have, like, removal spells for our theoretical creatures that we don't have, right? At some point? Or are they just, like, super stacked for the matchup? That could also possibly be the case. Oh my god, they just have everything here. We are getting so wrecked right now. This pull from tomorrow is going to, like, actually matter. Because at some point soon, if we can't deal with this Fevered Visions, we're going to have, or we can't deal with this Torrential Gearhulk, we're going to have to start sacking lands. Yeah, okay, so I'm not prepared to sack a land yet. I'm mostly just going for it here. I'm going to play around Censor, but that's all I can play around. Actually, no, I can play around a counterspell, because then I can just Nations in response. We're going to pull from tomorrow, we're going to see what happens. The problem is that he's 1, 2, 3 ways to do damage to me. So that's not a few ways. I can deal with one of them by Fatal Push, but I'm going to need to draw, and I can deal with one of them by Shambling, Venting quickly, but I'm going to need to, I'm going to need to figure out the rest of it. Like, I can Shamble Vent this, whatever, okay. That doesn't really do it, but we'll see. Do I Forsake the Worldly? Alright, so Gearhulk, Forsake the Worldly, Fevered Visions, have Fatal Push up is like the best answer I could come up with here. And they might just have an answer to my answer, which would, be unfortunate, but happens a lot in this matchup. Yep, alright, we're dead. I guess we're not technically dead. We can see, there is one more disallow in the deck, right? Okay, now we're dead. Oh, is there a Essence Scatter? No, we already used it. Alright. On to game number 2. Another opponent that's not playing incredibly quickly, although we are playing the Control Mirror, so I would expect this to last a while. What can we do here? Disallows, negates, Essence Scatters, Ob Nixilis. What comes out? Fatal Pushes come out. Renewed Faiths come out. And we try to kill him with fire. I mean, this is just simple sideboarding for a simple game plan. We know what they're trying to do to us. They know what we're trying to do to them. I mean, it's a pretty easy to figure out here, Alright, everyone, so back for game number 2 on the play with a keep here. So the key to this keep is to Fetid Pools first, and then we'll figure the rest out from there. We can Fetid Pools second as well, I guess. I mean, really the key is to land a Drakehaven here, if that's even possible. I mean, this isn't that much danger to us. Again, if it's even possible to land this Drakehaven, we're going to try. Because our Drakehaven can definitely outrace his Dragon Master Outcast. Because if he has things like Dragon Master Outcast, he's not bringing in other stuff. Right, so what is this? 6 lands? Alright, so we get to land a Drakehaven. So we're going to take Solace in that. This is a sick sideboard plan, by the way. That is some sick tech, because obviously I'm siding out like my Fatal Pushes and stuff. But it's so dangerous to just tap out every turn to me. Maybe it's not dangerous? I don't really know. It might just not be dangerous, let's be honest. Alright, so what is my plan here? My plan is he's here just to take it if he does it. Or 2. I'm going to cycle my Hieroglyphic Illuminations here. I'm only 2 turns away from getting owned by Dragon Master Outcast, so we kind of have to figure this out on the fly. I've never dealt with this post board before. BOS, I don't know who this is. This could be some like Pro Tour person trying to test or whatever. Or it could just be an idiot getting it right. I mean, there are really all kinds of options here. Alright, it's probably not a random. It's probably someone pretty good. Because you know so that's kind of a thing around Pro Tour season, is that the really good players don't want to play in the tournament queues, in like the 5-match tournament queues, because all the good results from those go online and they don't want their results online. So a lot of them play in these queues, which are slightly less competitive, but that way their tech doesn't get leaked. Which is kind of silly, right? Because if they're all playing in these queues and they're all playing against each other, leaking each other's tech to each other, which is strange, but also a lot of them do testing in-house. So this could definitely be someone testing for a Pro Tour. It could also just be a random, but I'm fairly sure I recognize the screen name as someone that's fairly competent. Although most of the people that are good have, like, prestige stuff, but those are really only the grinders. I don't know. It could be anyone, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's someone fairly good. Alright, I'd really like a Dispel here. That's another way to deal with this stupid thing. Nah, I think I have to go for Ob here. I know this is super sketchy if it doesn't work out, but I really just don't think I have any other outs. Like, I can Drakehaven, Censor, single cycles, or single make a thing, but that's just, I mean, I'm just dying so quickly to that. He's making things next turn. He's making 5/5 dragon creature tokens as flying, 2 of them every turn. I obviously took out the Fatal Pushes, not expecting this line at all, just expecting him to get way more control-y, but like decide all of his Sweltering Suns and stuff, but instead he sided in his Dragon Master Outcast, which again did not expect. So I guess I'm just lucky they didn't play a land that turn. How did they not play a land that turn? I feel like I never get lucky. Alright, I mean, I'm going to try to get lucky again and land this Drakehaven. It is a haven for drakes. Drakes do like being here, let me be honest. Alright, I guess I'll disallow in response to his disallow. There's nothing really else for me to do here, right? I mean... got dispelled. That doesn't feel good. I mean, as soon as they play a land, I'm dead. But I just have to hope that they don't play land for a while. Like, I mean, there's really no other hope for me. Oh, at the beginning of your upkeep. Okay, whatever. So I get 1 more free attack. Alright, I mean, I have one chance to kill one of them here, so I have to use the chance. And I'm getting owned. Yep, alright, that's the game. Alright, thank you everybody for watching these two quick games. I'm going to do a wrap-up real quick, and then we'll see you after that. So see you for the wrap-up.